Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Lazarus Mazar, or just LS for short. Today I'm going to be starting a new series in which I'll talk about all of the Hitchhikers available in Keep Driving. Lately, I've been very obsessed with this game and I just can't stop playing it. I've also noticed that on YouTube there isn't much content that dives deeper into this game, and that's why I'm going to do it. So, if you're here to learn more about the game or just for a guide, I hope you enjoy and please consider subscribing, it helps a lot. Okay, so for the first Hitchhiker, we're going to be checking out the Sleeper. Now, me personally, I wanted to first check out the Songwriter, but the game decided to give me the Sleeper first when I started recording, so I was just like, let's roll with it. When we first encounter him, we find him leaning against something in the shadows. What he's leaning on depends on where you find him. On country roads, it's a tree, on motorways and on city roads, it's a metal fence, and on rough roads, it's also a tree. When we stop the car, he acts surprised, because he wasn't expecting for anyone to stop. He asks if he can get a ride, and we let him inside. After picking him up, he says, "Great timing, I just woke up." From his level 1 description, we learned that he has hypersomnia. Hypersomnia is a neurological disorder of excessive time spent sleeping or excessive sleepiness. It can have many possible causes and can cause distress and problems in functioning. People with hypersomnia also fall asleep without warning. Sleep can happen anywhere and at any time. That explains why we found him in the middle of nowhere. He fell asleep and just woke up there. Some other driver probably just left him at some point. Through conversations while driving, at some point, our character will ask him when did he first start having these issues. The Sleeper tells us that it happened about the time his parents got divorced. He kept having panic attacks, and at some point, his body found a way to deal with them through hypersomnia. Recent studies do show that there is a possible relationship between anxiety disorders and hypersomnia. At this response, our character tries cracking a joke about him at least being able to get his beauty sleep, but the Sleeper has no comment. Okay, now let's stop philosophy for a bit, but only for a bit, and get into the important stuff, which are his abilities and traits, or at least the ones he has at level 1. At level 1, he comes with one ability and one trait. The ability is Slack Up, which has 5 uses and is free. I genuinely think this is one of the best abilities in the game. It's a swift ability, which means no matter what, if you use it on your first turn, you get an extra turn. But you don't if you're sad. But just don't be sad, be happy. It gives you 4 armor, but he falls asleep, which means you can't use his abilities until the next turn. This ability is great early on and in the late game, because in a lot of situations you can use it to escape the encounter entirely. And it even gets better when he reaches level 3. But I'll get more into that later. The trait he has is hypersomnia, which makes him fall asleep at times. This isn't too much of a problem. Most of the times you will just spend more time taking down a threat. The only early game problem it can cause is if you get pulled over by a cop, which has a lot of threat signs early on and in the late game, like generally always. And if you only have the Sleeper as a passenger, you may lose some resources, but still, it's a very rare encounter and you probably won't get that unlucky. Once the Sleeper reaches level 2, our character's thoughts on him change. He comments on the fact that he can't believe that someone just left him on the side of the road and how he finds it funny that the Sleeper just shuts off sometimes. He also mentions that the Sleeper told him that he used to stay with a rich old lady in the city. This can also be heard while randomly driving in the car. Our character asks the Sleeper where he got his clothes from, and he says that an old lady he used to stay with gave them to him. On level 2, the Sleeper gains one new ability and one new trait. The ability is Tired Eyes. It has 5 uses, and it costs only 1 energy. It destroys 2 threat signs, but skips one that is located between them. And if you're on a country road, you gain 1 armor. This is also a very good ability. With a cost of only 1 energy, you can get a very big use out of it. The trait he unlocks is Sleepy Smells, which is just a tiny nuisance most of the times. It just makes him fall asleep when you smoke cigarettes. And if you're going to use cigarettes, you can just use them after you use his abilities, that is, if he is awake. When the sleeper reaches level 3, our character's thoughts on him change again. He said that he asked him where his friends were, but the sleeper said that he can't keep any friends with this condition. Although, our character thinks that the sleeper doesn't have any friends because he's ashamed of his work. I genuinely do not know what work the game is talking about, because I've played it many times and I had the sleeper through not all of my playthroughs, but a good chunk of them, and he never mentions any work that he's doing. I don't know. Maybe it's a cut line or something like that, but there's no mention of his work, of his like that he's doing some kind of a job. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah. If you guys have any idea or know what the game is trying to say by that, please tell me in the comments. Now, again, let's go on to the fun part. The abilities and traits he unlocks on level 3. On level 3, yet again, he unlocks one new ability and one new trait. The ability is Snore, it costs 1 gas and it has 4 uses. It destroys 1 random threat for each armor, and it's only usable while he's asleep. Like I said, this is a direct upgrade to his level 1 ability, because you can use his level 1 ability to get 4 armor, and then you can spend 1 gas to destroy 4 random threats, which is huge. The ability itself can be upgraded a bit by buying the extra wide tires, which give you 1 armor at the start of each battle phase. So yeah, do consider buying them if you are going with the sleeper. And the trait he gets is Infectious Yawn, which makes you gain less energy when you sleep at destinations. This, again, like all the rest of them, are very small uses. It can be fixed easily with just some coffee or by eating some veggies if you're a vegetarian, but yeah, it won't make you a big problem in any part of the game, I say. And that will be about it for the sleeper. At the end of all these videos, I'll rank the characters I cover, and the sleeper goes to a solid S. He's a very safe choice. I pick him most of the times. He's very low risk and high reward, and I would especially go with him if you are doing some harder endings such as climbing the mountain. After reaching level 3, he will ask you if it's okay for him to stay for a while, to which your character responds with a yes, and that's about it. He doesn't have a quest or a location for you to drop him off to. He just stays with you until you kick him out. And if you do kick him out, he just doesn't say anything. Absolute silence. At first, I really didn't like the fact that he doesn't have any sort of quest, but then I realized that that kind of does really go well with his character. He doesn't have anybody, no friends, no family, no place to go to. Heck, you stopping to pick him up was probably the best thing that happened to him in a while. He is just a drifter, trying to enjoy life as much as he can with his condition. At some point while driving, he can ask you about your plans after the summer, to which you respond that you'll probably get a job. And he says, just keep it free, I say, which again is kind of just his whole thing. However bad it may be, just try to enjoy life as much as possible. And that will be about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I love playing this game and I want to cover it some more. If you did like it, please consider subscribing and dropping a like. And for the next character, we'll probably be covering the Songwriter. I really like his character and I want to cover him really badly. But yeah, until next time, guys, peace.